Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show, Wednesday, July 28th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mack, back for our second show at our new Tuesday to Friday time, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, to break down the rest of the Wednesday MLB card. There's already a few games off the board and that have started. And, I mentioned this on yesterday's show. MLB, since returning from the break and since I returned from my little 1 week off doing this show, it's been a battle. It has been a battle. Nothing has come easily. And there is no better example of that than the Detroit Tigers this afternoon. I'm looking at the show. I'm like, yeah, we're finally going to have a nice and easy, comfortable, no sweat, 10-0, fourth inning with the Tigers' first 5 in full game. And I'm like, yeah, we're finally going to have a nice, easy one. Don't have to worry. Don't have to fret any meltdowns. Don't have to fret about any fucking implosions or any of this other nonsense and bullshit and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, I have a little bite to eat, a cold cut turkey ham sandwich for lunch. Turn the phone off because it's my solitude time. It's a busy day, but lunch is that time to unwind. Just enjoy your lunch and enjoy it. So then the lunch is over. Nice lunch, feeling good. Flip the phone back on. It's 10-6. And the Twins have the bases loaded in that inning. The very moment I check the score. I'm like, you got to be kidding me with this bullshit. That I've got a 10-0 lead and I got to sweat this fucking thing out again? But thankfully, it looks like the Tigers have put some distance again between them and the Minnesota Twins in the 6th inning and beyond. And that's the way it's going, Connor. There's nothing fucking easy coming to me right now in baseball.
Yeah, nothing safe. I mean, a little different for me.
Comfortable, easy win. Just no sweat, clean ride, just nice cruise home to the finish line. No, of course not.
Yeah, it's that time of year. So it's just, I struggled kind of before the break. Yesterday was just an okay day, but yeah, nothing. So, and these bullpens that are pitched day after day, we're now there. Like August 1st, like it's dog days. This is bullpens ravaged, all that stuff. You're talking about no leads safe, bunch of runs and then nothing. Like you talked about a little bit with the Nats Phillies, bunch of runs in this Indian Cards game. It looks like it's going to push here maybe on their total. So yeah, exactly. Just wild times.
Shit show. Wow. It's good for live betting, actually, because if you have a team with a big lead, no lead is safe right now in Major League Baseball. So it's good for live
betting. Can you click your mic?
There's going to be some, we got our producer there. That's dinging along there in the background. That's all right. All good. Next, all right, let's get to it because we got a game that's just about to start. First pitch is like in 2 minutes here at Petco. Oakland and San Diego. We've got Sean Manaea, Blake Snell, battle of lefties here. In this one, San Diego minus 125, home favorites, 8 the total, shaded to the over. When I look at this game here, Manaea's pitched pretty well for Oakland for a long period of time now. He's been pretty rock solid in this A's rotation. He has a 2.25 ERA against the Padres in his career. In his last start, 1 run, 3 hits, 13 strikeouts in 7 innings. I'm tempted again to back Oakland here, but Snell is better at home. He does have a good, Snell, you want to bet against him on the road. At home at Petco, he's been good. And I don't know, there's some magic that the Padres have in this ballpark. So if anything, maybe the first 5 under could get there. We'll have to wait and see. Don't have a really strong opinion on this. I had my fill of taking Oakland last night, and it didn't end well. They had a nice early lead, couldn't hold it, couldn't even hold it past the 5th inning when I had them in the first 5 in the full game. So that was frustrating. San Diego does, again, we've talked about this ad nauseum. They play a lot better at home. So we'll have to wait and see if that continues here today in this one. So don't have a real strong opinion either way, side or total. Connor, how about you here with Oakland and San Diego?
Yeah, nothing on the side. You mentioned it, Ian Snell, just super good at home, a lot better than on the road. And usually he will give you 5 or 6 at home. It's always the third time through he kind of gets in trouble. That's why the Rays never pitched him long at all. Manaea's been good. His last start at Seattle was good. I lean the first 5 under 4.5 here. It was one I didn't take, but I lean that way. It's about to go off, or you could look full game, but I just don't trust it. You're right. The Padres at home here. That's why I couldn't take the A's either. But I like Manaea. You got the whole thing. He's got a bat. I mean, Caprillion got a hit last night. Paddock. I mean, I thought he was on the brink of getting pulled there. If they would have got one more with second and third, I think it was 5-0. He would have got yanked. And then he kind of settled down. But, yeah, I'd be on the under. That's my lean. First 5, 4.5. You could maybe look full game, but I like the first 5 under.
All right. Now, the rest of the games are at night. So we'll get right to them here. We'll start with Milwaukee against Pittsburgh. Adrian Hauser, Max Kranick, your pitching matchup here. We got the Brewers about minus 150, minus 155 road favorites. The total in this one, right around 9, shaded to the over. I'd probably look at some combination of over and Brewers team total over, to be honest with you, because Kranick has kind of hit the shits, in his last few starts. Hasn't been quite as well good for them. Not the literal shits, I mean, of course. I'm talking about figurative shits. He hasn't been as good lately. A 5.73 ERA for him overall. Remember, he had that one good start, and boy, that didn't last long. Right after that, struggled for this Pirates team. The Brewers, a ton of runs last night. Although, again, we have to keep in mind they did it without Christian Yelich, who's out due to COVID-19. And they also have another key bat, Jock Peterson, out. But the good news is they did get Lorenzo Cain back from the injured list to offset those two absences a little bit, at least. So that's definitely the good news for the Brewers here. And look, they're just a much better team. You can say what you will about Hauser. He's been kind of up and down, but he's been a little bit better lately. 3.88 ERA overall this season. It's not like he's got to work overtime to shut down what's a little bit of a hit and miss Pittsburgh Pirates lineup. So Brewers team total over, full game over. I'd probably lean those two directions, but they're just lukewarm opinions for me. Connor, you got anything here? Milwaukee, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I've been betting. I've leaned. The Brewers are just better right now. The Pirates, I think the Frazier trade, he was one guy at the top of the lineup, like you see beating out that hit yesterday we talked about. I mean, they don't have much going on here. They're getting rid of some of their pitchers. Kranick, he's a guy that did okay in AAA. And he kind of had a couple okay starts, but 3 innings, 4 runs against Arizona. I watched that start. I'd be on the Brewers. First 5, give me half a run, bring down this juice. I also kind of lean the game under 9. I don't know how much the Pirates are going to do. Hauser, I think he's okay. He had a few bad starts there. He was a lot better on early in the year. But it'd be Brewers or pass. I wouldn't want to back the Pirates. And I look to back like a home dog here, but I think there's nothing good about them right now. I think this is the end of the year. They want nothing to do with it. So full game under 9, I like a little bit. And the Brewers first 5 half a run, bring down this juice from 150 down.
All right. Next up, we've got the Orioles and the Marlins here. We've got Jordan Holloway for the Marlins and Jorge Lopez for the Baltimore Orioles in this matchup. Currently, we see the Orioles here. It looks like minus 128, minus 130 in that range. Total is 10 across the board, 9.5 in some spots. You had 2 much better pitchers, at least I thought on paper, last night, pitching between these two teams. Alcantara and Watkins in the game ended up being high scoring. I don't trust Holloway as much as Alcantara, that's for sure. He got roughed up in his last start against the Phillies, 5 runs in 3 innings. It's just gone 3 innings. He just went 3 innings in that last start that he had. He's just going to make a spot start, and that last start was June 30th. So he's just a guy that's coming in out of the bullpen to pitch here. So largely a bullpen day for this Marlins team. And again, we've talked about this daily now on this show, that the Marlins are just a team that they're waiting till the last second every day, to decide who's going to be their starting pitcher, because they just don't have many options. They're running out of arms, essentially daily to decide who they're going to put in there. Jorge Lopez, I mean, one of his best starts of the season. It had to be, might have been his best start. One of them, at least. 1 run, 4.2. He's still not pitching deep, though. He's been a little bit better in 2 of his last 3 starts, but he's not going deep. His pitch count gets up there. Look, 100 pitches and 4.2 against the Jays, 88 pitches in 4.2 innings against the Angels, 87 pitches in 4 innings against the White Sox, 80 pitches in 4.2 innings against the Royals, 82 pitches in 4.2 innings against the Nationals. He's just not eating innings right now. And the Orioles don't have a very good bullpen by any stretch of the imagination. So, Luke Murphy in our chat saying the Marlin team total over might be worth a look. The game over might be worth a look, I think, here. Over 9.5. That's the way I'm going. I think Baltimore could probably – the Holloway was just not very good at all in his last start, and the Orioles can hit a little bit on their home field. I think they could crack some runs in this game, and I think Miami, even though Lopez was better in his last start, I'm not trusting him. And the Marlins bats actually are starting to hit and starting to rake a little bit. Last few games going back to the weekend series they had against San Diego, they've started to get their bats going a little bit, the Marlins. So over 9.5 is probably the way I'd bet it here. What do you think, Conor Mack? Miami, Baltimore.
Yeah, I see a lot of 10s now. I'm a little leery on this. It could go either way. over, under. I know money seems to be coming on the Orioles. I know Lopez pitched well his last start, but I can't back him. Not at this price. There's just no freaking way. Like I said, he looked better. Holloway, though, has looked decent. I mean, the last start with the Padres wasn't great, but if he can go like he did with the Dodgers, the Phillies, some of these starts, Arizona, if he can give 4 or 5, 0 runs, which he's done a few times, I think there's a shot here with the Marlins. I just don't know. Should it go first 5 or go full game? I'd only be on the Marlins to get plus money here again. And the total, like I said, at 10, can 2 pitchers like this, I don't know. These games, some of them stay under. And now at 10, I wouldn't be on it. I would just pass this time of year on this total.
I think if you like Miami in this game, you take full game because their bullpen is actually a strength. They do have a pretty good bullpen.
It's true.
By their standards. I would go full game if you like Miami. Baltimore is not the same good bullpen. So I think if you like the Marlins, take the full game or at least put more on the full game than the first 5. It's probably the way I would go about it. Next up here, we got Washington and Philly. Patrick Corbin and Zach Wheeler in the sky keeps on turning for the Phillies. We've got Philadelphia up minus 205, home favorites here, 8 the total, shaded to the over. Zach Wheeler on the mound for this one. Last start against the Braves, threw a gem here in this ballpark. 1 run, 7 hits, 7 innings. And then before that against Miami, pretty solid, 4 runs, 6 innings. 7 hits in both of those. He's given up hits in his last 3 starts, but he's minimized the damage, and that's a sign of a good pitcher. You could say he's a little lucky, but it's also the sign of a good pitcher. And Wheeler's been pretty solid most of the season for the Phillies. 2.37 ERA. How about 2.09 ERA for him here at Citizens Bank Park? 8-4 in his 12 home starts this year are the Philadelphia Phillies. And Patrick Corbin's on the other side of the fence right now. He's trending in the wrong direction. Pat Corbin, the lefty, last 2 starts for the Nats, 11 runs allowed in 10.2 innings. So he's given up more runs than innings pitched. That's never a good sign for a pitcher when you see that. The Nats are 1-4 in Corbin's last 5 starts. They've not been consistently winning with him here on the mound. That's a concern. No, the Phillies are always one of those teams that are head scratching sometimes. Sometimes you expect them to hit a struggling pitcher and they don't, but they really should have success here. They do hit 262 against lefties, 5.47 runs per game over the last 10 games against lefty pitching for the Phillies. Corbin does have a very, very good track record against the Phillies. And earlier this season, he held them to 1 run in 7 innings in a Nationals victory back on May 13th. But his form then was he was actually turning things around at that time, May 13th. Now he's going back in the other direction here. So I think in this game, obviously I don't want to lay the price. I don't want anything to do with a money line. I don't want anything to do with a run line here on Philadelphia. Even the first 5 option is pretty juicy, and you got to lay a price with that. I mean, we're looking at probably -0.5 and -160. In the first 5 innings. I'm not going to do that. So what I am going to do here in this one is probably look toward team total here, 4.5 even money, -110 here on the Phillies. I think that's the way I'm going to target it. Connor, what do you think here, Nats Phillies?
Yeah, I think the team total with the Phillies is a decent look. I have a 120. Like you said, they're decent numbers against Corbin, but nothing jumps out crazy. 8 for 28 Harper, 8 for 28 Segura, Hoskins 6 for 20. So decent numbers. Wheeler's just a huge favorite here. I think these teams are a little bit closer. I agree, kind of that Phillies team total. I don't know. Wheeler pitched great his last start, and will he pitch really good again? I don't know. I think the total's a little light with these 2 teams and their bullpens, even if it might be a lower scoring. I know I didn't get there yesterday. I mean, they were 6-4 and stalled, but maybe there's runs here today. Yeah, and Corbin just hasn't been able to get it together, especially on the road. He's just been difficult. Like you said, he had a good start against the Phillies earlier in the year. Can he do it again? I don't know here. The Nats, though, look tempting to me. I don't think I'm going to take it. They really look tempting. But, yeah, Phillies team total, and I lean the full game over 8 in this one. Oh, a couple of guys. Juan Soto, really hot, 8 for 29 with a couple homers. Zimmerman's good. Parr is 10 for 20 with a homer. So some good guys, the Nats. The Nats off Wheeler.
Well, that's why the total's lower. It's that 2 ERA for Wheeler at home and a 2 ERA overall. I mean, exactly why this total's only 8. And to me, it feels too low with two lineups that have been booming a little bit lately. And
Yes.
the bullpen, you're right. Can't trust either one. I mean, they're throwing out this Wander Suero, and all these other jokers for the Nationals, and freaking Alvarado and all these clowns for the Phillies bullpen that you can't trust. So, obviously you could get fireworks late and could make this total look like. I agree. There's value over this 8, in my opinion. I agree with that.
The numbers are solid. These Nats hitters off Wheeler for sure.
Yeah, and there's some good numbers too for these Nationals against Wheeler, and even a couple for the Phillies have hit Corbin decently. So, I could make a case over 8 here. Braves and Mets now. We've got Max Fried and Tyler McGill on the mound in this one. Mets minus 130, home favorites, 7.5 the total. This one could be a first 5 under. I'm done betting against McGill for now. McGill keeps proving me wrong. He keeps shoving it in my face right now. Like, I went against him saying, hey, he's facing the Jays now. It's finally going to be a tough lineup for him. I think this is finally where he crumbles. Needed anything but. He dominated them. He mowed them down. They had no answers against him. So I'm ready to give Tyler McGill his credit, because he deserves it after shutting down the Blue Jays his last start. That was by far the toughest lineup he's faced, and he still pitched well. And they continued a great run that he's had, really, since he's joined this Mets rotation. So, and Max Fried's been a little bit up and down, hit or miss lately. It hasn't been rock steady for him in recent games. We know the Mets are the team that's a little bit superior right now. Braves, though, haven't completely given up. The Braves are one of those teams. They feel that if they get hot down the stretch, they could make a run at first in the NL East. So it's huge, these games head-to-head against the Mets. But I'm not going against McGill and the Mets here. I'm probably passing the game, but if I had to bet it, I would lean Mets. Connor, what do you think here? Atlanta, New York, Mets.
Yeah, I was looking all day. Can McGill, is he really this good? Can he have another great start? I mean, I've seen a few of his starts. He looks great. But can he continue it here? Fried as a dog is interesting to me. The Braves have looked really good this series. One thing, I know the Mets, all year long, because I looked it up, I think it's 68%. It might even be 69. It was the other day, the under. And I know this went up, it's kind of 7.5. It's at an 8. I lean the full game under a little bit. The Mets bullpen's good. The Braves a little bit better lately, but I lean under full game 8 here, minus 115.
Yeah, I mean, the under definitely, I think, would be the way to go with the way these two pitchers and these two arms are capable of throwing it, and the way they have been at times this season. No doubt about that. Yeah, I mean, so I could definitely see that being a decent way to look. Mets, of course, and Braves flew over the total last night. It was a good call for me to take that with Eichhoff, and Eichhoff's awful. I mean, as soon as I saw him in a total of 8, no wonder that thing opened at 8 and it shot all the way up to 9 by the time we hit the airwaves with this show yesterday. People were onto it that Eichhoff is just brutal, and that's essentially what he was last night for the New York Mets. So good bounce back spot with McGill, who's pitched well, 2.1 ERA. So that's why I lean Mets there. Yankees and Rays. Nestor Cortez, Michael Waka Flocka Flame on the mound for the Rays. We've got Tampa Bay minus 130 home favorites here at the Trop, 8.5 the total. Waka is definitely struggling. Is not someone I'm laying a price with. 5.16 ERA this season. Recent form's trended downward. And Nestor Cortez has been good in these spot starts he's made for the Yankees. He's actually pitched pretty well. 1.95 ERA, the lefty out of this pen for the Yankees. Nestor Cortez making these starts here. So I think the Yankees first 5, I know that some people liked that yesterday and thought it was worth a look in that one. But, and obviously they got the job done. They won the game as well. I'm not going to say that's going to spark a turnaround or like a red hot run for the Yankees. They still have issues, namely their bullpen. But Cortez is throwing the ball really well right now. And I can't say that about Waka. So I would only consider a Yankees first 5 here, to be honest with you. Maybe just the first 5, because we know the Rays on paper should have the better bullpen right now over the Yankees. But I think you can make a case for the Yankees early in this one. Connor Mack, what do you think here? Yankees and Rays.
This one's interesting to me. Cortez has pitched well. The Yankees have stayed in one-run games. Yeah, I'm with you a little bit. Waka's got unreal numbers against the Yankees. Looking at it, it's kind of befuddling, especially because his last 3 or 4 years haven't been good. LeMahieu 6 for 16, but other than that, I mean, Judge is 0 for 8, Sanchez 0 for 4, 0 for 3, Stanton's 2 for 10. He does have 2 doubles, but difficult one for me. It's tough to lay it here with Waka. The Rays are at home. I lean the under a little bit. If you could get a 9. Even the first 5 at 5 a little bit. I lean under in this one.
And that's a great point.
Yankees,
MMA locker room. He does have a funky pitching style, Cortez, and the Rays have never faced him yet. So it's a big advantage potentially for Cortez. Yeah.
Yankees have struggled against righties too. They've been bottom of the barrel too in the American League.
Yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. I might take a small shot here with the Yankees. I think I do. I like the way Cortez has gone for them. So I'll probably look Yankees for something small. It's not going to be best bet, not even close, but I'll look something small here on the Yankees' first 5 innings in this one. Toronto and Boston. Now, this is game 2 of their doubleheader. They're already playing right now. Ray and Richards, the pitching matchup from last night, they're playing that one right now. Tonight, it'll be Steven Matz and Tanner Houck in the second game of the doubleheader. 7-inning game. Make sure you're aware of that. Red Sox minus 130. Home favorites, 8.5. The total shaded to the under in this one. Matt's pretty good start for him. He gave up a 2-run shot to Alonso against his former team, the Mets, and after that, he shut them right down and pitched pretty well. And unfortunately, he was on the losing end of that, but it wasn't because he pitched poorly. The Jays didn't hit against the aforementioned Tyler McGill in that game. But he pitched better. We'll see how he goes here in this one. I'm not laying a price with Tanner Houck necessarily. With his, he's actually been okay, 2.5 ERA overall, but this is a bigger series, and these are bigger games for the Blue Jays. They've got to try to make do. They're up in the first game right now, and I took Toronto in the first game. I said I'll take Toronto in the first game with Ray, and then we'll see what happens in the second game against the Red Sox. I think if they win the first game, I don't think I'll take the Blue Jays in the second game because oftentimes these double headers, the team that loses the first game often, not always, but often I find bounces back and wins the second game, puts a little bit more emphasis in it. So I'll probably stay off the Jays if they do indeed finish off the Red Sox here in this first game that's going on right now. I think they're up 4-1, 6th inning, last I looked. But lean Jays a little, but if they win the first game, I'll probably just stay off and pass the game. And I'm pretty sure Conor's going to pass the game because it's a doubleheader. Am I right?
It's a doubleheader, and it's Steven frickin' Matz. This guy can't get him right. I would be on the Red Sox that they're losing, though, here in game 1. I know it's minus 130 with Houck, but the numbers are gaudy off Matz. These guys just tear him up. I mean, Martinez 3 for 9, Vasquez 3 for 8, 2 homers, 3 for 9, 2 for 5, 2 for 5. Everyone's ripped him. So I'd only be on the Red Sox in the second one. And the total, it's a little high. I wouldn't mess with it. But yeah, Red Sox drop game 1. I'd lean game 2. But it's a doubleheader. Steven Matz would go out and throw a gem if I take the Red Sox. So I'm probably getting passed. Can't catch him right. Either he blows up or he'll be dominant. That's if true. I go against him. It just no read on him ever.
So it was 13-6 Tigers entering the bottom of the 8th. It's now 13-8. They've hit a couple of home runs, and now there's a single, and there's still nobody out. And Buck Farmer is in this game. Could you get somebody out, you stupid fuck? My goodness.
Come on.
I mean, my gosh, Buck Farmer. Farmer is what you should be doing. Get on the farm and, grow the corn. Get the cornfields growing. Grow some tomatoes, grow some carrots. You should be doing. You're probably better at that than throwing in the major leagues. Holy shit, man! Get it out. It's not that difficult.
Get it out. I love it.
This is unbelievable. I'm gonna have to go. I know I'm gonna come right back to sweating this Tigers full game when it's all said and done. I know it. It's just
I know. I have it with
going.
you. I'm with you on it.
Yeah. Man, the Tigers do have bullpen issues, though. Oh, man, nothing's safe with them either. Stupid fucking bullpens all over this damn sport. Nobody can get the job done. Arizona and Texas. Next up, we've got Mad Bum and Jordan Lyles on the mound here in this one. We've got pretty much even money, both sides, minus 105, minus 110. Total 9 now, pretty much across the board. Yeah, this is a tough one because you got 2 bad teams here. Texas, give them credit. I said if they're going to finally win a game and bust this 12-game losing streak, it would be last night, and that's exactly what they did last night in that game, defeating Arizona. I got to look, I think, a little bit at least to Arizona here because Jordan Lyles at even money, he has been just wretched, just absolutely dreadful lately. And I know Bumgarner's not the Bumgarner of old, of course, winning World Series titles with Bochy and the Giants years ago. We're not getting that Bumgarner. We'll never again. get that version of Madison Bumgarner. But, I still think he can outduel Jordan Lyles here. And Texas against lefties is very shaky most of the time. So I would make a case for Arizona here and first 5 in full. Certainly split it up, if not put more on the first 5, because we know Arizona's got those issues with their bullpen.
Yeah.
But I would lean to Arizona here tonight in this one. Battle of the shit teams. Connor, what do you think here? D-backs, Rangers.
Yeah, battle of the bums. Bumgarner on the mound. I lean with the D-backs too a little bit. First 5, I could have go full game with them. Yesterday, Taylor Widener had it. They should have took him out. He's asleep at the wheel. How do they keep him in after they tie it 2-2, second and third, first base is open, and he leaves him in the game to throw it right down the frickin' middle, and Gallo drops a bomb. Torey Lovullo, this guy's name's Torey. It's horrible managing. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, I'd be on the D-backs. Bumgarner's last 2 starts have been good. Pirates and Cubs, but he went 5-6, only gave up 1 run. He's looked a little bit better. He had a rough stretch there in May. But I'm with you. I can't go full game, but I lean D-backs first 5 here, -110.
All right, next up, we've got the let's see what we got here. Cincinnati Reds, Chicago Cubs, Tyler Mahle and Zach Davies on the mound. In this one, we've got the Cubs or the Reds right now, about even money, -110, 10 the total, pretty much across the board. This has been a run. This has been a high-scoring series, and I don't know if that's going to stop tonight, especially with the weather being what it is at Wrigley Field. We got winds blowing out, humid, sticky, muggy night, 94 degrees Fahrenheit, wind blowing out to left field. Mahle's been kind of not quite as sharp lately, and Davies is going back in the wrong direction again for the Cubs. Reds got it done last night. I might rue the fact that I'm going to back the Reds here because I had them in the first game. They cashed the first 5, but they blew it late. I didn't come back to the Reds and Gutierrez at that big price last night, and I was kicking myself for it. I didn't take Cincinnati at that crazy price because the Cubs shouldn't be laying -200 to anybody with them trading away all the assets that they're trading. So I'm going to go probably Reds first 5 full game split. Mahle, I still like him enough that I think he can outpitch Davies. And look, Baez may not be in the lineup. We know this is a Cubs lineup that they're trading away their parts right now. So it's definitely a team that I would want to stay away from right now. It's 13-10. You got to be shitting me, man. 13-10 now in this Tigers-Twins game. Bottom of the 8th there. I told you, we're going to be sweating out this 9th inning. They're going to get guys on base. Time run's going to come to the plate. All that bullshit is going to happen again. You got to be shitting me with this crap. God almighty. What the fuck? Connor, anyway, what do you think here, Connor Mack, with this Reds and Cubs?
That's my life, Ian. That's my life. Sweat the
it's
fucking
tough
Tigers.
show. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. 13-6, cruise to the finish line with stress-free last 2 innings. Can we do that? No, of course we can't. We're the Detroit fucking Tigers. That's why. Connor, it's yours.
Yeah, I don't want much to do with this one. Man, there was the Reds last night with that price, like you were talking about. Now both -105. I see more runs, maybe again, but I'm not going to mess with the total. This is one I scratched off kind of early. Who's going to be in the lineup for the Cubs? You mentioned it. Melee's been a lot better on the road, though, I believe, than at home. So his road starts have been a lot better. So I lean the Reds in this one. A few guys have hit him well. On both sides, obviously. Bryant, like I just talked about, off Mahle. But Davies, Winker's 5 for 9 with a homer. There's a few other guys, but he'd be a jack of the day guy I'd look at. He's starting to hit again. He was in a slump there. He's starting to feel it.
Yeah, the guy that's an automatic bet right now is Joey Votto for the Cincinnati Reds. He's like rediscovered the fountain of youth. Unbelievable what he's doing. He had 2 home runs last night. I mean, he's pitching like he's hitting, I should say, like he did in his prime right now. Joey Votto for the Reds, and it's been big for them. He's come up huge. I think he's had multi-hit games, like 7 in a row or close to that. So Joey Votto, total bases, home run props, you ride him right now. He's a red-hot bat in that lineup right now for the Cincinnati Reds. And he's in the cleanup spot tonight, which shows you how well he's hitting. They've moved him up, and rightfully so. India, Winker, Stevenson, and Votto is a nice top 4, even without Castellanos, who's out. Those top 4 are pretty good for the Reds, at the top of that lineup. Next up, we've got, what happened to Blake Snell today? Holy shit, he gave up 4 runs in the first inning to Oakland. Oakland up 4-0 over the Padres.
Boom.
So, boom.
Ace.
Huge game for Oakland. Yeah.
He hadn't been hitting lefties, and all of a sudden, or last month, and then boom.
And now they just got a 1-out double. So yeah, we're going to get to the tying run at the plate for this Twins team. This is unreal, man. Totally unreal. It actually is. This is very real. This is the same fucking movie I've been watching for 2 weeks. No lead for any team I back is safe. None. Zero. It's the same old thing. And now we're going to sweat it out all over again. Can you believe that? 10-0 and 13-6 leads. I'm sweating the damn thing out. My goodness. You can tell I'm amped up today. I am amped up today. You better believe it. All right. Next up, we've got, as we continue on, White Sox and Royals here. Lucas Giolito, Chris Bubic on the mound. White Sox minus 180 right now in this game. The total 10 across the board. 9.5 is actually still out there in a couple spots. And that's worth noting because I am on over 9.5 here. Giolito on the road, not necessarily in love with that. Bubic on the mound, lefty for the Royals. White Sox, I think, can do some damage here against him today. So that's definitely the way I would look here. 9.5 over. I know we've had a couple of games where we've just not seen these offenses totally click and take off here in the first couple of games of this series. But I think tonight the matchups work out pretty well here for the White Sox and the Royals. And you have bullpens that have been used quite a bit as well here in the last couple of games of this series. So I definitely think we could get this game up and over the total here. 9.5, 10. Make sure you shop for the 9.5 though, because big difference, 9.5 to 10. But again, this is another weather situation where another muggy night in Kansas City. It's going to be 94 degrees Fahrenheit, 108 Fahrenheit with the humidity at first pitch tonight at Kauffman Stadium. So it's got all the conditions of a high-scoring affair and a benefit to hitters. So I think over 9.5 the way I'm going here, White Sox and Royals. Conor, what do you like here, White Sox, Royals?
Yeah, this one's interesting. I get why you want to be on the over here. Giolito struggled against the Royals. So has Bubic. But both guys have back-to-back good starts. Giolito with Houston and Milwaukee, and Bubic, the Orioles and someone else. He's gone 5-6 after he had a rough time there in June and July. Like, the numbers are good with the Royals. I think there could be live. I know Giolito's pitched better here. I kind of want to take a shot with the Royals at plus 155 a little bit. And they're both in good form. I know there's been low scoring games too the last 2 days with the wind blowing out a little bit. So I'm going to stay off the total of 9.5 because, yeah, I do lean over a little bit. And you talk about Soler, guy's been hitting homers. He's got good numbers. Perez has a couple homers. Santana does. Benton, he's 5 for 15. So they got good numbers off Giolito. I think the Royals might be a little live home dog tonight.
13-12. 2-run home run by Ryan Jeffers, of all people. Bottom of the lineup guy.
Fuck. God damn.
Told you, we're going to sweat this thing right to the 9th inning. Now, I shouldn't be this pissed because I've already cashed 2 of the 3. I had the Tigers first 5, and I had the over 9.5 in this game, and that cashed like long ago. So I'm actually going to be profitable in this game. Like, people are probably going to think, Ian, why are you going nuts? Calm down. You 2 out of 3, worst case scenario. Yeah, but I should be 3-0. That's the point. The point is this game should be a 3-0 fucking result for me with the Tigers full game as well. We shouldn't have to be enduring this bullshit. We really shouldn't, but here we are. 13-12 when it was 13-6 entering this inning. That's the way it goes. Now, like I say, 2-1 worst case scenario. I'll get out of it plus money, but still, this should be 3-0. And now that's very much in jeopardy. But we'll keep our eye on that shit show that's going on right now at Target Field. Let's move on now. We've got, it's stretch time. Yeah, we've got to our late West Coast games. So that'll help. This is a good time for a stretch right now. I need it. I need to relieve some tension, man. Holy goodness. Good time for that. All right. Yeah, serenity now. Serenity now. Do the old Frank Costanza. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Serenity now, insanity later. Yeah. Hopefully that helps. It actually does help a little bit, I will admit. So anyway, thanks to everybody in the chat for joining us. Jason Lewis, Whack Prescott, Joey Harb, MDR24, Sam Comer, Jefferson C., Brian Watson. Yeah, huge day in hockey. Tons of signings. Can't keep up with them all. Crystal Warren, cashed the Tigers' first 5 already. Yes, I have as well. And the over, 9.5, which was as easy as it can. Like I said, I should calm down. I'm going to be 2-1 on this game, profitable. But still, this full game with the Tigers is driving me nuts right now. that they're even in a spot where they could still lose this game, up 10-0 and 13-6. Could you imagine that? 10-0 and 13-6, and you still could lose the game as of right now. TJ, Joshua, Ko Kanlaya, we appreciate you being with us here. Luke Murphy, Hansel Matos, Nut Flush Allen, welcome in. Giants keep on rolling for you. Great to see that. Real DJX, MMA Locker Room, everybody else in the chat. Nathan Serna, great job, everybody. Lance LaRose, MDR24, John Roy, Gabe Martinez, looks like the Kyle H, Home Run Derby. We appreciate everybody here. Cheshire Cat, Turnsey, of course, welcome in. I think he is a Tigers fan, Turnsey. I know he loves his Red Wings, so he's another one. I mean, he's got to be apoplectic watching this nonsense from the Detroit Tigers. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes here. But obviously, we've got major issues here in this game. Major issues right now. It is what it is, though. And what it is our next game on the board. It is the Colorado Rockies and the LA Angels. You better come home. Chichi Gonzalez on the mound for the Rockies, and it's Andrew Heaney for the LA Angels. We've got the Angels minus 200 home favorites here, 9 the total in this one across the board. Let's see what we've got here. Chichi Gonzalez, what we have is a guy that's struggling for the Rockies. Well, we know Chichi is not someone that's long for anybody's starting rotation right now. 6.06 ERA for him overall, which just isn't very good at all for this Rockies team. And especially in the shorter term, 9 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's given up 7 runs, 4 innings against the Dodgers. Now, he did face the Dodgers twice, but still didn't pitch well in those 2 games. 11 runs in 9 innings. Didn't pitch great against Arizona either. Only went 5 innings, 3 runs on 6 hits. So it's been a struggle for Chichi. I don't think he'll fare all that well here against the Angels. Angels get absolutely ripped last night by the Rockies, 12-3. Terrible by Suarez and that Angels bullpen. But Heaney on the mound here. He's pitched a little bit better his last few starts, but he's still not been great. He's got a 5.72 ERA. You look at the Rockies, believe it or not, they're hitting lefties pretty decently right now. 259 for the season, 252 in their last 10 games, and they average over a run per game more against lefties than righties. And for the season, they also average more runs per game against lefties than righties. So I was on the over last night with these two teams, and I'm probably going to jump right back to that same bet tonight, over 9 here with the Rockies and Angels. Side perspective, I'd lean Angels in a bounce back spot, but not at this price, not at minus 200 with Andrew Heaney. But the Angels probably do bounce back against Chichi tonight. Conor Mack, what do you think here? Rockies, Angels?
Yeah, over 9 here. This is over. 2 guys, Heaney and Chichi. They're both usually good for at least 4 runs, both of these guys in 5 innings. And both bullpens aren't good, so even if they're maybe don't get runs early, I think you get it late. The first game got to 8. The Rockies, like you said, scored a ton of runs yesterday. They hit lefties well. Few guys have hit him well. Blackman's 5 for 9. Trevor Story's 2 for 5. So I think there's runs in this one. I think this one, even if in 9.5 at even money, I think is good. I think we get up and over the total in this one for sure. Wind's blowing out on Anaheim. Take the over.
All right, last game, and it's what can you say? Last night, Dodgers and Giants. What you talk about drama? There's been drama in every game the last 2 weeks. These two teams have played each other, especially in the latter innings. The Giants and the Dodgers. We've got Walker Buehler on the mound for the Dodgers. Anthony DeSclafani for the Giants. The Dodgers minus 130 road favorites, 7.5 the total. Look, this is the one spot. Like, I'm not saying you have to bet the Giants, but there's no way I'm betting against the Giants and their karma and their mojo and the way they're finding ways to win right now as a home underdog. We said the same thing yesterday. Home underdog is disrespectful to this San Francisco team. I know it's Buehler. I get it. Buehler's great. You got nothing bad to say about Walker Buehler. We know he's an ace. We know he's an elite pitcher. But still, we're talking about, the Giants as a home dog when they're 32-15 at home, when they've won 63 freaking baseball games already this year, like 20-some plus games above 500, and they're a home dog. That's not value to go against San Francisco. So I get it. It's a bounce back spot for the Dodgers. That was a crushing loss last night. The team was there. It was a coin flip. Either team could have won. Bellinger, I don't know what the hell he's doing throwing that ball the way he did. Terrible throw. Awful. Not even close. You got to eat that ball. Keep it. You cannot let that happen and let the go-ahead run and the eventual game-winning run score in that spot. If you don't think you can make an accurate throw, eat the baseball. Keep it. Don't make that throw. But unfortunately, made the bad decision. It's all a game of decisions sometimes. And like football, sometimes the quarterback, I shouldn't have thrown that football. Shouldn't have thrown it into double coverage, and it gets intercepted. Well, too late. After it happens, it's too late. And I'm sure that's probably the way Bellinger felt last night. You made that throw too late to say, I should have, could have, would have, should have, didn't. The bottom line is you made a bad throw and it cost your team the game when it's all said and done. So look, the Giants just have the Dodgers number right now. I mean, this is unreal. I mean, how many more heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, kick in the nuts losses can the San Francisco Giants hand this LA Dodgers team right now? I mean, just absolutely horrendous, hideous, heartbreaking losses, one after another for the Dodgers. However, tonight's the guy that this is the guy you love on the mound when you're trying to break a little funk and a little hex that the San Francisco Giants have over the LA Dodgers right now. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not on the game. I'm passing. I was on the Giants last night. I lean to the Giants here at this price, but the one guy DeSclafani has had some trouble with this year has been the LA Dodgers, and that's still something I think of in the back of my mind. So lean Giants, but unlike last night, I'm probably going to stay away and not pull the trigger on the Giants tonight, even though I lean that way. Conor, what do you think? Can your Dodgers get their shit together, finally beat the Giants tonight?
I think they can. I was on the Giants last night with you. I had the first 5 under 4.5. I lean the first 5 under 40 a little bit. It's minus 120. But I love the Dodgers against DeSclafani. I think it's a little bit of a get right. All these guys have great numbers. Max Muncy's 4 for 14, 2 homers. Will Smith, 4 for 8, 2 homers. The whole lineup hits well. Turner, a lot of these guys. Pollock. Chris Taylor's been great. One of the only Dodgers. Because they haven't been scoring runs. So it's difficult for me to say this. But I'd be on the Dodgers first 5 half a run. I guess you go full game, run line, but these games have all been so close. One-run games. Bullpens have blown it. Bueller's the guy I want on the bump. You get it down around even money. They're minus 130. You could take it first 5 around minus 135, 140 if you want it straight. But give me the half a run here, first 5 with the Dodgers. I think they get a few off DeSclafani.
There you go, DeSclafani. Yeah, first 5 minus a half is a good way to go with the Dodgers. The bullpen's been hideous. Most of it been Jansen. I will admit that, but still, I'd rather have the first 5, I think, than the full game with the LA Dodgers right about now. No question about that. So great stuff. Everybody in the chat, we thank you. A couple people that we didn't mention in the stretch that have come in the last couple of minutes here as well. I think there's a couple. Yeah, Real Deal Prime is one. We welcome you in, MDR24, and Crystal Warren, welcome you in as well.
Crystal, Kyle H.
For tuning in. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to everybody for joining us here on this show. I'm calm now. The Tigers at least got out of the inning with the lead, although just one run now, 13-12 as we go to the 9th inning. So they're not going to add on any more runs here in the top of the 9th, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th. Still 13-12 and having to sweat 3 more outs of this Tigers mad house bullpen right now, which should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to get off the show and watch that unfold because I'm thinking the worst. You just know it. All right, let's get to best bets and Jack of the Day in just a second. We will do that, but just before that, as always, at this time of the show, we'll pause for messages from both Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, make sure you stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. It's the place you want to be in a bar pub environment. It's got everything you want. Southtown 101, San Antonio. Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports. With that promo code, you get 20% off each purchase from Manscaped. Lawnmower 4.0, including every Manscaped product as well. So 20% off your purchase of any Manscaped product, including the new and improved Lawnmower 4.0, by using the promo code PubSports and mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Look, countdown's on, a week away from the first NFL preseason game. We've got a week away from the CFL season. We've got college football starting in just a few weeks after that, the last Saturday, August the 28th is the kickoff of the college football season. So now's the time to sign up for mybookie.ag. Get ready for football. We're certainly getting ready for football. I've done pretty much most of my research now on all the teams, NFL and college. I'm ready to go. Like, I've got opinions in mind. I'm ready. And now we're ready for the fall camp. We're going to hear things about quarterbacks that look good, other players that don't look good, and make some decisions based on that. But I'm ready for football, and you can help yourself get ready for football by signing up at mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit, so check them out. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, it is time now for the Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
All right, Jack of the Day time. Jack of the Day time. Joey Votto goes without saying. He had 2 last night for the Cincinnati Reds. Definitely worth a look tonight as well. He's just feeling it right now at the plate. He does have a homer, and he does have an 11 for 31, 355 average lifetime against Zach Davies as well. So a home run for Joey Votto, worth a look. Winker, probably worth a look as well. 5 for 9. And a home run against Davies as well. So a couple of Reds you can look at. Hard to avoid Chris Bryant for the Cubs, assuming he's in the lineup tonight for them. He's gotten 3 bombs off Miley in the past. So definitely you could look in that direction as well for Jack of the Day. I think a couple others too that we were looking at here. Sal Perez and Soler. Soler had a couple last night against the White Sox. Soler has 2 home runs against Giolito. So does Sal Perez. That's definitely a 2 for the Royals you could look at. For Jack of the Day, Abreu has 1 against Bubic. There's another one that you could take tonight. And as far as the late game is concerned, I think Conor alluded to these 2 guys, Smith and Muncy against DeSclafani. Might be something to look at as well. Conor, Mac, what do you think for Jack of the Day?
Yeah, Juan Soto, he's plus 350 is the guy I'm looking at. Winker's 340 and Votto 332. Good guys. You already mentioned that. I'm going with Jeff McNeil. He doesn't have a homer, but he's 6 for 17 off Max Fried with 3 doubles. He's plus 900. Kind of a long bomb there with McNeil. And then you mentioned the 2 guys, Muncy plus 350 and Will Smith, 4 for 8, 2 homers. He's plus 500. A little bit of value there with the Fresh Prince, Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith, they're calling him the Fresh Prince now, indeed, for the LA Dodgers. All right, best bets now for this Wednesday night card. Conor, Mac, what do you like here for best bet?
Wow, I liked a few, but the one I like the best, I think their team total is good at over 3.5, but Angels Rockies over 9 minus 120. I just have to take it. I see runs with those 2 pitchers. Give me the over there, over 9.
All right, Angels Rockies over 9. Best bet here for Conor, Mac tonight. Mine's going to be Maley and Davies. I'm going to go over 10 with Cubs Reds tonight. I think we'll see runs there. It's been a high scoring series. Both bullpens have been vulnerable in this series as well so far, and lots of numbers, lots of good averages, lots of home run numbers against both of these pitchers. Reds against Davies and the Cubs against Maley. There's been a decent amount of success both ways. So I definitely think we could see runs in bunches again tonight with these 2 teams. Very hot as well at Wrigley Field. Reds, Cubs, over 10 is the best number. I got 9.5, but 10 is, at least if it hits 10, it'll be a push worst case scenario. So, over 10, Reds, Cubs, best bet for me. Honorable mention to White Sox, Royals over. And I'm kind of talking myself more into that Nats, Phillies over as well, with that number just sitting there at 8. Those were ones I consider as well for a close best bet level, I should say. But we'll go with Cubs Reds as the official best bet over 10 Cubs Reds. Good stuff, Connor. That wraps up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. Hit the like button. Make sure you do that on the way out. Smash the like button. It helps us out. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video if you can. There's a share button. Do all that stuff. And make sure you keep I think I don't know if they got rid of it, but I know YouTube used to have the bell icon where you could hit it and you could be alerted every time there's a new video.
Ring it.
Post.
Get the bell.
So yeah, ring that bell, exactly, and you'll get alerted. We're gonna have a lot of videos, a lot of content, a lot of live shows coming up once football season begins. Lots of great characters. We're here at Pub Sports Radio. Gonna have a couple new faces coming on as well. So great stuff ahead here at Pub Sports Radio as we get ready for football season for sure. Looking forward to that. Thanks to everyone for joining us. For Conor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will talk to you again tomorrow on Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for another edition of the MLB Closing Time Show right here on Pub Sports Radio.
Peace.